And welcome to this week's episode of Coffee with a Career Coach. I am joined by one of my colleagues from the office today, and we are going to be talking about career fair prep. So, as we do with every Coffee with a Career Coach, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Erica O'Toole. I am the Associate Director in the Career Development Center, and I am drinking Starbucks today, which is really wonderful that we have them in the building next to us. So I'm having my Starbucks with a splash of cream. So shout out to the students who work at Starbucks because they're pretty amazing. All right, Jacob, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Jacob Anglebrandt. I serve as the Assistant Director of Employee Relations here in the Career Development Center. This morning, I'm drinking just a basic classic roast, just plain black coffee. So happy Thursday.
Awesome. Happy Thursday. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. We do have some questions prepared, but as always, please feel free to chime in with any questions that you have. All of our listeners are more than welcome to type us in the chat, and we will respond to you in this live as well. So Jacob, to get us kind of started with career fair prep, what should students expect from a career fair?
Yeah, so they should expect to really connect with employers on from all different companies from all over the U.S. You know, we have lots of employers. This career fair, especially, we have over 100 employers coming to seek out CMU students and alumni specifically, which is super exciting. So it's just never forget, right? Employers are there for you. They're coming to connect with you, and I know it can be intimidating at times, but you can really expect to just have a good time and networking with professionals.
Awesome. There's nothing like the feeling of career fair day. Like we all always have to wake up early, so that's not the best thing, but when you wake up early and you walk into this like room of all these employers, students ready in their professional outfits, there's just nothing like it. It's such a great day. So Jacob, my other question is who can attend? You kind of already touched on it, but if you can go into a little more detail.
I did, yeah. So definitely it's open to alumni students of all majors and years. So if you're a freshman and this is your first career fair, be excited. I know it's probably a little bit nerve-wracking, but definitely go out there, have some fun, connect with as many employers as you can. So personally, I was a social science major for my undergrad, and I went to the career fairs, and I know it's a lot of business specific, I guess, companies recruiting business specific majors, but as a social science major, I got to connect with multiple companies who were interested in me and myself as well. But yeah, so it really is open to all majors, all levels, and alumni as well.
Awesome.
So how do I know which companies are coming and which and what they're hiring for?
Yeah, so really easy. We have this awesome platform called Handshake. So any student that's not familiar with that, all you have to do is sign into Handshake with your global ID and password. And if you click the events tab at the top, you're able to look at all the events and fairs we have going on. For this one specifically, for tomorrow, the Alpha Kappa Psi Career Fair, all you do is type that in, or usually it's right at the top there. Click on it and you can view all the employers that are attending and what they're actually hiring for, which is really cool because you'll notice that a lot of those employers mark that they're hiring for all majors, which I kind of think really works to what you were saying, Jacob, is like, go regardless, right? Not only are you able to talk to these employers, network with these employers, you're able to practice your own professional development as well. So there's really not a bad outcome in attending tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. And I definitely think it's always great to kind of practice those networking skills and everything that lead to when you are a professional, you already have that skill set. So,
Absolutely.
But with that being said, how do I approach an employer? How do I go up to them and start
Yeah.
out?
So I would always suggest preparing an elevator pitch. So when you think about an elevator pitch, you want to think about 30 to 60 seconds. And what they're really looking for is something about your past, your present, and your future. So you want to be able to articulate, okay, this is maybe why I went into my major. This is why I chose this career field. These are the involvements I'm currently in. This is my current major that I did choose. And then set some goals for yourself and let them know what those goals are as well. So being able to walk up to that employer and pitch yourself with the elevator pitch is really the thing you want to have prepared. Um, you know, sometimes conversation will engage after that. Sometimes they have a huge line and that's all they're able to talk to you about. But at least you're going up there and you're getting your name out there, and really showing them who you are as a candidate as well. So, Jacob, what should students wear tomorrow?
Yeah, so I would highly recommend dressing professional. So I know a lot of recruiters and company representatives might be in jeans and a t-shirt or what their company, allows to wear to work. But remember, it's dress to impress. So professional attire is definitely encouraged. So I know you want to dress your best. You'll feel better, especially you'll have more confidence approaching those employers. So I would highly recommend, dressing to impress. And then also, if you have any questions on that, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our assistant directors that can assist with that as well here in the Career Development Center.
Absolutely. And just a little side pitch for first impressions because I just feel like I have to there. Um, it's too late to get in for this career fair for tomorrow, but we have many events coming up. And so I want to just make sure students know that they can book with First Impressions, which is our student program that gives free professional clothing to our students. You can visit First Impressions once a semester and get a full professional outfit. So that could be nice shirt and pants and shoes. It could be a full suit, really whatever we have that's in your size and what you like. But once a semester, if you visit every single time from freshman year to senior year, you could have 8 outfits, and that's huge to build up that professional wardrobe. So just want to plug that because I highly suggest you sign up. It is on Handshake and it books up quick. So sign up for the next career fair and the next events.
So how do I follow up after the career fair?
Yeah, so follow up is so important. I think people just think that they maybe go to the career fair, they talk to the employer, and then the conversation ends there, but it does not. Because ideally, this is networking, right? We want to keep the conversation going. So, my suggestion would be make sure you're getting a business card from that employer. So, you have their name, you have their title, you're not trying to scramble later on looking them up on LinkedIn and find out what their name is. And write them a thank you. Whether you do that on your computer, you can do it on email, you can do it handwritten. A lot harder to do handwritten in this situation.
Hmm.
Typically suggest that for interviews, but definitely just send them a message, whether it be through email, through LinkedIn, just as a thank you for getting to know you and talking to you at the career fair.
Yeah, and definitely. So, with my background being on the other side of the table as a recruiter, those are very much appreciated. I
Yeah.
know traveling on the road and everything like that, it might take some time for that employer to get back to the student. But when they open that up, that's a good feeling. When it's just a simple thank you for taking the time to come out to CMU to chat with me, to tell me about your company, everything like that. That does really go a long way, and it does make that impact.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and I haven't been on the other side of the table, but I'm sure when you're traveling as a recruiter, as many of our recruiters do, you're probably pretty exhausted when you get back. So getting a thank you is probably that like shining light and everything. So awesome. Well, let's talk about a couple tips or advice we might have for students. Jacob, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so my biggest thing is have confidence, as much confidence as you can when approaching employers. It's definitely going to be awkward at first, right? If you have your heart dead set on a couple companies and you're like, these are definitely the companies I want to chat with, maybe save those for number 3, 4, or 5 that you chat with, and go to some companies that you're like, I can definitely see myself here, but if I mess up my elevator pitch or something like that with them, it's okay. I mean, it'll be okay either way in the end, because just remember that they're people, right? They are there to come meet you and connect with you. So that's the sole reason they're here, right? Is to meet students like you and recruit you to come work for their company and everything like that. But remember just to have the confidence and own it, right? Own you're knowledgeable, and even if you are an underclassman, right? You are still a college student working towards a degree that you're interested in and passionate about, and let that shine through, let that show to the employer, and they'll it can go a long way.
Awesome. Yeah. And I mean, along those same lines, definitely encourage you, no matter what stage in the process you are, because if you come as a freshman to the career fair and an employer sees you and talks with you, then you come your sophomore year and then your junior, then your senior, By the
Mhm.
time your senior year comes around, they know who you are, right? And they're impressed that you've been there every year. So forming that relationship and that networking piece is really, really awesome. My other big piece of advice is do your research, right? You don't want to go up to these employers completely blind, like, hey, what do you guys do? What can you offer me, right?
Mhm.
Um, because you're also trying to market yourself to them. So being able to say, hey, I noticed on your website you guys have a really strong value in this, or you do a lot for the community. I noticed this program that you do, or I noticed this position that I'm really interested in, right? Showing any type of interest that you've done your research ahead of time is going to make such an impact on them, because if you walk up and just say like, hey, tell me about your company, they're going to think you're just walking around every table saying that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it can be as simple as just a quick Google search, click on the About Us section at the company. That's literally what it's there for. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Absolutely.
and I can tell you from my experience, recruiters and company representatives love that when you say, yeah, like I know your company XYZ. I know you're headquartered in this state or in this country, and you're all across the U.S. or international, and they really appreciate that because it shows that you're really interested in them and you're invested in this conversation and the interview process and everything like that. And like I said, I've said it before, but those are some of the things that really make you stand out.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Jacob. I really appreciate it. I hope all the students watching and alumni watching got some good tips for tomorrow. We're really excited to see all of you there. Like I said, Career Fair Day is just such a great feeling for this office. We love seeing you all there in your professional attire, talking to employers, because that's what it's all about in the end, right? So we're really excited to see you there tomorrow. And also know that we have a lot of events coming up. So please check Handshake, please check our Facebook page, and check out some of those really awesome events that are coming up. So, without further ado, thank you, Jacob. I really appreciate you being on here as well and giving your insight. And we hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. So, thank you.
Thursday.